My name is Shook. I make videos for NBA, I make videos for NFL. They all go on this subreddit called DF Sports with one S, as you can see here. I'll have a link to that below in the comments, and then you can find my post here. My name is Shook on Reddit. I post all of the all of the injury news that comes out, stuff I like, etc. You can ask me whatever questions you want. I will always answer your questions as well. Um, so people talk strategy here. You have other people posting pretty good content as well, as you can see here. Just a really, really great place to be. So come check it out if that's something you're interested in. And then if you're not interested, that's completely fine. If you ever want to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me on Reddit through Messenger. Or you can get a hold of me on Twitter at ToryLangley1992. Someone said my DMs weren't open. I'll take a look at that after I make this video. So, I'm not going to show my lineups because I don't want to sweat how I'm doing in NBA because I hate sweating. But, so Sunday main slate, I didn't cash. But on Sunday Showdown, we cashed. Monday Night Showdown, we cashed. Thursday Night Showdown, we cashed. We've just been absolutely destroying the NFL this year. I think I'm up like, I don't even know how much I'm up. Only playing cash, probably like $1,000, maybe a little bit more, just playing cash games. Only playing cash games. So, and a little bit of GPP, but I've been doing terrible in GPPs. But it's been a phenomenal season. We're down at the last 2 weeks here. Let's hope to finish off strong. I know cash games have been a little bit tougher of late with at the end of the year. The field definitely gets a lot tougher. So let's try to. I haven't cashed in cash games on the main slate in like 2 weeks, so let's try to like bring that back. But Showdown, it's always easy to cash in cash games. I always suggest playing cash games for Showdown, for main slates. You can do a little bit of GPP if you want, but I always suggest playing cash games. The edge is still very much alive, and very much there. Give me 1 sec, guys. I'm going to put my phone on the charger. 1 sec. 1 sec. I don't know what I've been told. Someone doesn't know. All right. Going over this slate. So we will do cash games. We will do everything else. Oh my god, the Bulls lost by 1 point. I did a 3-leg parlay. I took Bulls, Pelicans, and the Rockets. Rockets lost too. But we'll do what we normally do. I'll go over cash games. I'll go over some GPP plays that I like. And then we'll go over some stacks that I do like. So, not going to be a full in-depth video. I'll try to make these ones pretty quick. So, we'll go over cash games first, as that is what I focus on the most. So, this is an interesting week for cash games. I think there are a lot of places that you can go, but I think most of the field has a pretty good idea of what they're going to be doing. So, starting at the quarterback position, I think there's only one quarterback that I'm really going to consider with this week. He's just way too cheap. And that will be Jared Goff going up against Chicago. I don't know what Draftkings is really doing with the price tag here with Jared Goff. Last 3 games, 29, 14, 29, 24, 17. Like at this price tag, for him to be okay at cash, he needs like 15 fantasy points. So I don't know what Draftkings is doing. It's the clear highest total on the slate. It's the clear highest total on the slate. Chicago is not good defensively. They have the highest implied team total on the slate as well. So just a really high floor and ceiling here with that total. So I think Jared Goff is your optimal cash quarterback for this weekend. Going over running backs. So here's the thing. there are a lot of good running backs to pick from. I'm out of breath, man. I'm still not okay from the COVID. A lot of good running backs to pick from. I think we're going to be wanting to spend up for a running back, maybe possibly two, and then possibly spend down for one. There are two good spend downs, but there's a lot of good spend ups. Like you have CMC going up against the Raiders. The Raiders are not good against the run. His usage is insane. Now, I think CMC is my least favorite of these spend ups, but I apologize, guys. I think he's my least favorite of the spend ups. Like I think I might prefer Barkley for $1,000 cheaper, but I think he looks great for cash. Just the usage is just absolutely insane right now. I think it's a good spot against the Raiders. So like CMC for cash, I think Saquon Barkley looks really good going up against this Indianapolis team. At 8K, that seems like a very good price tag. Love him for cash games. He's getting like old CMC usage right now, where he's getting like 15 attempts on the ground to like 5 to 10 targets, which is what we want to see out of a running back. So I love Saquon for cash. I'm not going to get to Jacobs in cash. I think James Conner is another really good cash option. He's basically getting old CMC work where we're getting like 15 carries, 5 to 10 targets. It's a good matchup going up against Atlanta. They are not home though. They are not at home though. Don't really care about that for cash. Once again, he's too cheap, so I do like Connor a lot. Going down a little bit further, Ramondre Stevenson going up against Miami. If he plays like him, I played him last week. I forget if it was Showdown or not. He really disappointed, but I'm expecting him to go to the backs of that role to where he gets 20 to 25 opportunities. They're at home as well, so Stevenson looked good. Travis Etienne Jr. at 6.4K looks really good going up against the worst run defense in the league. I wish they would throw him the ball a little bit more, but unfortunately they are lost because Travis Etienne Jr. is a phenomenal pass catcher, so that's just dumb, but he looks great for cash. Going down further, I think Miles Sanders at 5.9K is too cheap. I think he'll be a pretty popular cash game play. I don't mind that. And then we have the two value running backs, and Tyler Algier and Brian Robinson Jr. So no Antonio Gibson going up against this putrid Cleveland run defense. I'm expecting 20 plus touches, 25 plus touches. Like if we go back to last week, and if you guys don't know what this is PFF. You can look at snap counts, stuff like that. Let's go take a look at last week with Antonio Gibson in the lineup. With Antonio Gibson healthy, Antonio Gibson played 21 snaps. You saw Brian Robinson play 32. So those snaps are going to be vacated, and those are all going to go to Brian Robinson. All of them. Like, he's probably going to play close to 80% of the snaps. So I think he makes for a really good play. I think Algier in a really good spot up against Arizona makes for a very good running back play. Like, these are the two value running backs that I'm going to be considering. And then once again, just one of these, Saquon, James Conner. I think those two are probably my favorite if you're going to be spending up. But let's move over to wide receiver. Justin Jefferson at the top. I mean, this guy's just good, right? 16, 16, 15, 11, 11 targets over the past 5 games. 34, 33, 36 fantasy points. Last three, 18, 4, 32, 5. So 30 plus fantasy points in the last 4 or 5 games. He clearly has the highest floor of any wide receiver on the slate. So, man, it's tough to fade Justin Jefferson in cash, but I think it's doable. Like, it's really going to be what are you sacrificing to get Justin Jefferson, and if you think that value is good enough to go there. That's going to be deciding on if you want Justin Jefferson or not. I am not decided yet on if I'll be playing Justin Jefferson in cash yet. I'm not decided, but I think he looks great. I will not be going to Tyreek. I will not be going to Adams. The next guy that I really like is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Once again, the same reasons that we talked about Jared Goff. Highest total on the slate. Good spot against Chicago. That slot role is very precious. Jared Goff just absolutely feeds this guy. I'm expecting him to get 10 plus targets in this game. So he looks like the cash game wide receiver lock, in my opinion. Like, I don't think I'm going to be fading Amon-Ra St. Brown tomorrow. Sorry, guys. with the cough and stuff like that. Keenan Allen at 7K, another guy that's going to get peppered with targets. I don't mind it. I think it's fine. Going down further, let's talk about some more people. I think Christian Watson, if he is out, that's going to open up Alan Lazard at 5.4K, who I think would be a strong cash game option. You can consider DJ Moore. I don't hate that. Going down further, Zay Jones up against Houston, I think is viable. Drake London going up against Arizona, I think is viable with no Kyle Pitts for the rest of the year. Jahan Dotson going up against Cleveland, I think it will be in my cash game pool. Going down further, Curtis Samuel, same thing, will be in my cash game pool. Going down further, I don't think there's much. I think the clear spend down wide receiver, like you can consider Tutu Atwell for cash. I think you can, but I don't think there's really any point to. You can consider Elijah Moore too, but I think the clear cut value play for cash right now is Greg Dortch, the flatman. I don't care that Blow is going to be starting. I believe it's going to be Blow. Pretty sure it's Blow. Yeah, I don't care. Greg Dortch is entirely too cheap, but no DeAndre Hopkins. So, I think Greg Dortch right now is your punt wide receiver for cash. He just opens up a ton. So, that's where I'm at for wide receiver. So, for tight end, I'm only really considering two guys. I called it in the beginning of the year that Evan Ingram was going to have a breakout year. And in fact, he is having a breakout year. I think Evan Ingram is your cash game tight end. Or you're going to punt with Jelani, where's Jelani? Jelani Woods at 2,800, who, how many snaps did he play? I don't think he played like a boatload of snaps, but he's a guy that's going to be targeted when he is out there. And he's going to run routes when he is out there. So let's take a look. Jelani Woods played 30, okay, he played over half the snaps, and he ran a route or was out there on 23 of those passing plays, and he's a guy that's going to run routes, 2,800. I think it's either Evan Ingram or Jelani Woods. Those are the two tight ends that I will be considering. And then for defense, I think 49ers is just a cheat code going up against Stidham. So, that's probably where I'm at, guys. That's probably my pool for cash right now that I'm really, really considering. Let me know if I forgot someone, please. But other defenses I think you consider, I think you could honestly pay all the way up for the Giants if you wanted to, if you have the extra salary, but usually you want to punt in cash for defense. I think you can consider I think you consider the Cardinals. I think you can consider I think you can consider the Falcons, but the primary cash defense right now is going to be the 49ers. So I hope that helped. Let's go over my favorite stacks of the week. So the first top stack, this is in no order, but the first clear stack that we have to talk about is going to be, sorry I'm doing that thing, man. It's going to be Detroit. I sound like a broken record here, but I keep saying the same thing. It's just too cheap. I don't understand what Draftkings is doing with the price. He's throwing the ball 40 plus times a game. It's the highest total on the slate. It's the highest team implied total on the slate. They are playing at home. So I don't understand what Draftkings is doing. So Jared Goff, if you're playing Jared Goff, you're probably playing him with Amon-Ra St. Brown, and you're probably playing him with DJ Chark. I don't really think I'm going to be considering anyone else. Zylstra got in the end zone 3 times last game, but that's definitely an outlier. Past few weeks, 1 target, 2 target, 1 target, and he just gets 6 and lands into the end zone 3 times. So that is complete fish food. That is chasing if you're going to go there. These are the 2 primary guys that I'm going to be pairing Jared Goff with, and I definitely prefer bringing it back with someone on Chicago. I know it's disgusting, but you need, if you're going to play a double stack, I personally think you should always have a bring back no matter how disgusting it is. Like, if Detroit gets off to an early lead, Chicago is going to be in a good position. They're going to have to throw the ball. So that's going to allow your stack and bring back to just have a much, much higher ceiling. So I personally think you should be bringing it back with someone. I think the bring back for me personally is going to be Cole Kmet at 4.5K. I don't agree with the price tag, but he seems to be the guy with the safest floor right now on this Chicago team. That would be the guy that I would bring it back with. But love Detroit. It's going to be extremely popular, but for a good reason. Let's talk about the next stack. We have Jacksonville going up against Houston. We have Trevor Lawrence Trevor Lawrence questionable. I believe he does play, but Travis Etienne Jr. is going to be extremely popular, I do believe. So, how do you get off that chalk? You stack Trevor Lawrence, you probably play him with Kirk, and you probably play him with Evan Ingram. And then once again here, I'm going to be bringing it back with someone on the Houston side. I think my favorite bring back is probably going to be Brandon Cooks at 4.8K. I haven't seen anything on a limit for him, but he would be my favorite bring back. I think it's just a good spot going up against Houston here. The team implied total for Jacksonville is 24.5, one of the higher ones on the slate as well, which is something we want to be targeting. So that is another stack that I do like quite a bit. The other one, I know Denver's been very tough defensively, but Patrick Mahomes is always in play for GPPs. Like, absolutely nobody is going to be playing Travis Kelce tomorrow. Nobody is going to be playing Juju Smith-Schuster tomorrow. This instantly gets you different. I think Patrick Mahomes is just completely matchup proof. I think Travis Kelce is completely matchup proof. So this will get you different. This is another stack that I'm definitely interested for GPPs. You couldn't pay me to play Russell Wilson, so no thank you. I think the other stack that I'm considering is going to be, oh my god, I forgot a wide receiver. Where is Garrett Wilson? Garrett Wilson at 5.5K. I didn't mention for cash. I don't know how I didn't mention that because he's one of my favorite wide receivers on the slate right now for cash games. We have Mike White back. When Mike White was back, he got 15 targets. When you had Zach Wilson back, he was only getting 7, 9, 9. I'm expecting double-digit targets here for Garrett Wilson. He is way too cheap. The price went down. I think he's one of my favorite cash game wide receivers on the slate. Oh, I dropped my drink. All right, let's go back to stacks. What else? Okay, this Minnesota game. Nobody is going to want to play Kirk Cousins tomorrow because of recent history in Green Bay. He has been absolutely terrible. People think he sucks in the cold, which he probably does suck in the cold, but I think the ownership is going to be down. The Vikings only have a 21 team implied or 22.25, and the Green Bay Packers have 25.25. So another one of the higher total games on the slate. Kirk Cousins allows you to get exposure to Justin Jefferson, and it also allows you to get exposure to either Christian Watson if he plays, or a really good play in Allen Lazard. So who's going to be in my pool when I'm going with Kirk Cousins doubles? It's going to be JJ and it's going to be Hawk. These are going to be the two primary targets that I'm going to be playing in Kirk Cousins stacks. You can consider Adam Thielen, but I much prefer TJ Hawkinson, who has been a target machine. Him and Justin Jefferson just eating up all the volume. I think Justin Jefferson's at like a 30% target market share, and you have Hawkinson right behind him around 25%, if I recall correctly. I don't care about the narratives. I don't care about the cold. I don't care that he's been bad in Green Bay. I think it's a good stack to get away off that Jared Goff chalk. And then the other one is Aaron Rodgers. I know it's disgusting. They run the ball a ton. It's gross, but if Watson plays, he's going to be a good play. If if Watson out, Lazard's going to be a very good play. So I think this allows you to also get exposure to these guys in a stack that is going to be different up against the Minnesota defense that we have been targeting all season long. So I don't know why we wouldn't really want to be targeting them here again. So I think Aaron Rodgers stocks are firmly in play this week. Anything else? I don't really think there's anything else. Like, if you want to be an absolute sicko, I guess you can go to Mike White up against this putrid Seattle defense. Wait, they've been good. Okay, they allow 217 passing yards on the ground. So I mean, Mike White was extremely efficient when he was playing. I mean, he went 61%, 78%, so it's not the worst. Like I already said, Garrett Wilson is way too cheap at 5.5K. I don't hate Elijah Moore at 3.5K. This stack's extremely cheap. You can bring it back with whoever you want, and then you still have all the money in the world to like play. You could fit in JJ, and you could even fit like CMC into the stack. So I think that opens up a lot. It's something that I don't hate, but I think it's completely puke. I think a lot of you are going to hate me for mentioning, but I think it's in play. And I think Tom Brady stacks are in play. Like, they're going unowned every week. I know last year they were going unowned and they kept winning everyone money. Obviously, this isn't the same situation, but Godwin Evans, I always hope that Tampa Bay is just going to light it up one week, but I've been very, very, very much mistaken, and they've been terrible. So maybe this is the week, but they would be in my pool. So I'm only going over stacks that I think would make my pool if I'm MMEing. So if I'm playing 150 lineups, I'll give you guys who are the stacks that I would include in my 150 lineups. I think it would be Detroit. I think it would be Trevor Lawrence stacks if he plays. I think it would be. I would sprinkle in some Patrick Mahomes. I would sprinkle in some Tom Brady. I would definitely have Kirk Cousins. I would definitely have Aaron Rodgers. And I would have some Mike White. So if I was playing 150 lineups for you guys, I think those would be the quarterbacks that would be in my pool. I think those are the main ones that I want to focus on this week. So I hope that helps you out a little bit, giving you that for you MME bros out there. Now let's talk about some GPP plays. So for running back, there are some GPP plays I like. So you have David Montgomery going up against Chicago, going completely unknown because he's in this standstill price tags alongside other really good running back plays. Like you have Cook around the same price. You have Aaron Jones. You have James Conner, all in a $300 price range. You have Alvin Kamara for cheaper. So it leaves David Montgomery in an island here. So I think Montgomery is a good play. Stevenson, fine for cash games if he plays. Cam Akers, once again, out of these cheapy running backs, I'm expecting good usage for him, like 20 to 25 touches. He is going completely unowned. I think that's solid. I think A.J. Dillon going up against Minnesota, you have a piece of this game and you're getting off some of that chalk. So I think A.J. Dillon makes for a good GPP play for me. Leonard Fournette got like 10 targets last game. He's not going to play 100% of the snaps, but he will be involved in the passing game a ton. If we take a look last week, he played 49 of the possible 73 snaps, so about 60% of the snaps, which is completely fine. If we're going to get 10 plus targets of him at 5,600 with nobody playing him in GPPs, I will be all over that. Zonovan Knight, I think, is solid. And I really think that's it. Wide receiver. So we already mentioned I don't like Hill. I don't like Adams. A.J. Brown, once again, Gardner Minshew at quarterback doesn't really matter. Like, A.J. Brown's going to get targeted regardless. He's going to get seen downfield as well. So I like A.J. I'm not going to get to the Miami guys. There's just no way. Devontae Smith, I think, is priced appropriately. DK Metcalf, I don't play people against the Jets, so no thank you. Godwin's Mike Evans, love for GPPs. Going no further, Juju. Drake London, I do like at 4.9K, like a lot. Dotson, DJ Chark, Richie James Jr., Rashid Shaheed. Insanely high ceiling, just a low floor. Then tight end, pay up to be contrarian, Travis Kelce, George Kittle. These guys are going unowned. So that's where I'm at, guys. I hope this video helped you out a little bit. And yeah, I hope you have a good new year.